From CBS News Bay Area, this is the Evening Edition.
Now at 6, a food truck worker robbed and shot on the job left with lasting scars. The couple caught in a crime wave in Oakland.
And family and friends putting grief into action, demanding city leaders change laws to make San Francisco streets safer.
And saying goodbye to a first lady, how Rosalynn Carter's legacy lives on in the Bay Area. Live from the CBS studios in San Francisco, I'm Brian Hackney.
And I'm Andrea Nakano. We start in Oakland, where a food truck worker chased after the men who robbed him. That chase led to him getting shot.
The Tamales Mi Lupita food truck was robbed at the corner of Foothill and 34th in the Fruitvale district. Lynn talked to one of the victims and has the story.
Workers say robberies around here are pretty common. What was unusual this time was one of the victims chased after the robbers who had a rifle and a handgun. The victims, Lucila Picado and her husband, were working in this food truck Friday night when two gunmen stormed in and demanded money. Lucila describes the traumatic experience through a translator.
I was just afraid, terrified. I was just like had my head down. They were pointing the guns at me in the back.
She asked us to protect her identity because of safety concerns. Lucila says the two gunmen took the money and repeatedly hit her husband.
They started getting frustrated or mad because there wasn't enough money in there. Since the owner comes often and takes the money.
She says her husband and their 16-year-old son got in a car to follow the robbers to try to write down the license plate number. She says the gunman fired at least 15 shots from their moving car on Davis Street. One bullet pierced the windshield and hit her husband in the shoulder. Doctors tell them it may be more dangerous to remove the bullet, so the bullet remains in the shoulder.
When I see my husband, I'm sad because there's an object inside him that I know it's hurting him and we can't do nothing about it.
She and her husband are also frustrated because of the repeated robberies and burglaries targeting small Hispanic businesses on Foothill Boulevard in the Fruitvale district. The late chef Anthony Bourdain once featured Tamales Mi Lupita on his show, saying this was his favorite Oakland food truck.
We're going to have the community resource vehicle.
Oakland police recently announced they will deploy foot patrols and increase presence in the district. Police responded to over 3,200 robberies citywide so far this year. It's up 35% compared to last year.
And I get it. We're super frustrated with everything that's happening in the Fruitvale district. And trust me, it hurts all of us as a community.
Fruitvale business owner Dominique Prado reminds people to be good witnesses.
It's not worth chasing, it's not worth fighting back, because it's not worth losing your life. Money you can replace.
Lucila says her home country is safer than East Oakland.
I am shocked, mostly because I barely have 3 months here. And then if I were to have the opportunity to go back to Nicaragua, I would.
Both Lucila and her husband are hardworking people. They're back at work. Her husband was just cleaning up the parking lot here, and he was shot 2 days ago. He did not want to be on camera, but he tells me he's managing his pain.
And there is no word yet on any arrests in that case.
Crews continue to take down security barriers just days after the APEX summit wrapped up in San Francisco. Lots of barriers were stacked in several piles along Howard Street earlier today. This is not too far from Moscone Center, where the APEX summit was taking place. The barriers provided added security for the attending dignitaries during the high-profile event.
And with the death toll amongst Palestinians now reaching 15,000, most of them women and children. Protesters worldwide are demanding a ceasefire in the Middle East, even as Hamas continues to hold more than 200 hostages. People rallied outside of San Jose City Hall today in support of Palestinians. They say they're rallying for all of the innocent children who have lost their lives in the conflict. Meanwhile, the White House says officials are working round the clock to secure the release of the hostages. The news comes after a blast rocked a UN school on Saturday that was being used as a shelter for thousands. It's unknown what caused the blast, killing dozens of people at least. Israel says an investigation is underway.
The world is saying goodbye to Rosalind Carter. The former First Lady has died at the age of 96. The wife of Jimmy Carter was known as one of the most politically active First Ladies in U.S. history, the first to sit in on cabinet meetings as well as briefings from the National Security Council. As First Lady, she was a mental health advocate working to protect those with mental illness from discrimination. She and Mr. Carter were married for 77 years. The Carters have left a legacy here in the Bay Area. Max Darrow has that story.
Former President Carter and his wife Rosalind last visited the Bay Area in October 2013. They were here on a mission to improve life for members of our community here in the Bay Area. The Carters helped build new townhomes at a Habitat for Humanity construction site in East Oakland.
So this is my room.
Earlier this year, we visited one of the homes they worked on alongside one of those homeowners. She showed us a tribute to the Carters hanging by her front door.
The Carter family can see how we take care and we appreciate this gift, because I say my house is a gift.
The Carters also spent some time with us at KPIX in the 1980s.
Would you give a nice warm welcome to former President and First Lady Jimmy and Rosalind Carter.
The former President and First Lady were in the KPIX studios for an appearance on the show People Are Talking back in 1987. They were here to talk about life after the presidency, as well as the book they wrote together called Everything to Gain.
But we had agreed to write books, we had to raise money for the presidential library, and everything just kind of piled in on us, which was good because it kept us busy. But I remember one day Jim and I were laughing because we were having a good time when we first got home. I mean, you know, we could ride our bicycles out in the country or planes with nobody, no press and no crowds around us. It was exciting.
The Carter Center released a statement from President Jimmy Carter saying, "Rosalind was my equal partner in everything I accomplished. As long as Rosalind was in the world, I always knew somebody loved and supported me."
And still ahead at 6. They lost their family members in traffic crashes. Now they're demanding change. Why they say local leaders are not doing enough to keep people safe.
And in the First Alert forecast, now that we're done with that system that was around for like 5 days, it gets a little breezy in the hills tonight. We'll talk about that wind advisory for the mountains. And we're going to look ahead to the Thanksgiving holiday and see what the Pacific might have in store in terms of where the storm track might go next.